So this video is going to be about a regression for internal rotation PAILs and RAILs. We get a lot of questions at MTS about this in terms of getting into the other regressions, not feeling the right stuff, not getting the right outcomes. So here's yet another regression. Just to show you why we're choosing this one, a lot of the times with the bear sit to IR, which is supposed to be kind of our base, when people are coming to the ground like this, they're unable to kind of get away from that medial knee pain. If that's the case, I would definitely check tibial rotation. But in terms of getting after the hip, maybe they don't feel that, but they also have a hard time feeling the right stretch. They're constantly hiking up. It's just not a good position for them. So here's a little regression that you can use instead. Before I even get into that, let's show you what the internal rotation looks like, because I always like to have everybody conceptualize it so that we actually get a lot out of it. So if you go down, laying flat on your back, and you're coming to here, and as we're here, we're going into internal rotation, and you hit 5 degrees, and all of a sudden you're either stopped or you feel a pinch in the front of the hip, then when I do my setup, that degrees should be relatively represented, meaning I'm not going to be all of a sudden going for 75 degrees of internal rotation when I stopped at 5. So you think the golden kind of isometric rule, 15 degrees outside. So if I was here, there's my 5 that I showed actively. Now I can go to maybe 15, somewhere around there. When I get to here, I'll have Donato come around to the side so you can see. But I'm going to go ahead and take my foot, put it up here so that it's on the outside. And the biggest thing, just like when we do our bear sit to IR, is I don't want my butt to come off of the ground. So what you can even cue is try to cue someone to take that left side of their pelvis and even turn it into the ground and really drive that into the ground while their whole entire lower back is flat. Now as they're here, what we're looking on is big deep breaths and full exhales, and they should feel a nice little stretch out here on the outside in the capsule, but not on the posterior side like as if we would do the 90-90 on the table, so there is a difference. You're not going to feel too much in the groin for most people, and the thing that we do want to really avoid on this one is any pinching or pain in the front. Because my left hip isn't in as much flexion, I should have a little bit more of an open angle in the front, which will allow me to regress and really work on the rotation of the capsule. So from here, I'm just going to take some nice big deep breaths, and then my PAILs is going to be external rotation of the hip. So my hip is going to try to turn out into my foot. I'm going to keep my foot there so that it actually can move because it is an isometric. After I finish my PAILs contraction of 10 to 20 seconds, then I can work on pulling this away and into the ground. So there would be my rails. My rails would be to pull away. I could even keep my foot here and just slowly pull away. As you do your rails, make sure that you don't lift your butt up at all. Remember, we're trying to move through the actual hip, not the whole entire lower back. So give those a try and let us know how it goes.